What is up, my fellow Harley riders? This is the Perpetuating Party of Patriots, and today we kind of have a bit of a different video. Now, as you guys know, and also if you checked my about page and seen maybe some of my videos, I am a Sonic the Hedgehog fan. Well, more so of the earlier games and up to some of the modern ones, particularly up to Generations, probably. That's where I think the peak of Sonic was, but yeah, I do really like the franchise, honestly. And despite despite in my about page saying you might as well call this the Nicktoons and Sonic channel, I have not talked about Sonic a whole lot as of lately. Now, that's not because I've really fallen off the series, because I still like it, but I don't know. I guess I've just been up with a bunch of collection and kind of commentary and YouTube poops and edit videos. But I think now, or I think today, I've decided that I'd like to talk about some Sonic for a video. As you've seen by the title and on the thumbnail, I'm going to be talking about my favorite Sonic stage or my favorite stage from each of the most of the main Sonic titles. Now, there are a couple I'm missing, particularly, well, not really missing, but I'm not including. And there are particularly three games, actually. Sonic CD, Sonic Lost World, and Sonic Forces. And I'll explain for each one. For Sonic CD, I believe I have played through at least a majority of the stages, but I don't know, I honestly can't really pin down a favorite. Not because I think the game is bad. I do think it's a good game, but I don't know, there was no real stage that really stood out to me to say that I really like it. Oh, there are a couple really good ones, like Tidal Tempest and our Stardust Speedway, but I don't know. I guess I just can't really necessarily narrow down my reasons either, so that I'm not including that one. And for Lost World, I've literally only played a little bit of the first stage, so that was not even fair. And for Forces, it's kind of for the same reason of CD, but I also just don't really like the game a whole lot from what I remember of it. I have beaten it, but I don't know. There's just not really any stages that I thought were really that great, honestly. Not saying it's a horrible game, but I don't know. I just wasn't the hugest fan of it. But for the most part, we are including pretty much nearly every Sonic game on here, well, the main ones. 11 stages from 11 games, and this is not a top 10 list or a top list, because these are not in order. I'm just going by each one that was released, but yeah, anyways, let's start at the very beginning with the first Sonic game, and my favorite stage for that one. Okay, so my favorite stage from the first ever Sonic game would probably have to be Spring Yard Zone, and I'll tell you some of the reasons why now. Spring Yard Zone is the third stage that you play in the game, and I don't know, there was something that I honestly really liked about this zone, and made me kind of like it more than the other ones. One of the things that I really liked about it was usually the stages, at least in the first Sonic game, they're either very speed focused or very platform focused, and not really a mix of either one, or really a necessarily a decent mix of either one. And I think Spring Yard Zone is one of the few ones that actually has that and does it pretty well, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying I think the other Sonic 1 stages are bad. Well, there are a couple that are bad, but Spring Yard Zone was one of my personal favorites to run through in Sonic 1. And I also really liked the music in this zone. I think it's very nice sounding to the ears, even if it does kind of sound like and then the song Step by Step from, I forget who made that song, but yeah, the song in the song in this stage is pretty bumping. And again, I think the stage itself is pretty fun as well, with its mix of platforming and speed, and it's also fun going down huge loops. Those are pretty cool. But anyway, that's all I really have to say about Spring Yard Zone. Let's move on to my favorite stage from the second Sonic game. Okay, so my favorite stage from Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is Hilltop Zone, believe it or not. Now, Sonic 2 is probably one of my personal favorite Sonic games, and I think it was one of my first ones, but yeah, this game is held in very high regard, and there are a lot of stages that I personally really enjoy. I do like stages like Emerald Hill Zone, Chemical Plant Zone, and Casino Night Zone. I think those are cool, and there are other ones I like too, but there's something about Hilltop that I really liked. Mainly, it had a very fun level design, in my opinion, but yeah, honestly, with this stage, I can't really go into a huge amount of detail on why I really liked this stage. It's just a really fun stage. Good music, good level design, fun to play through, and yeah, that's all I really have to say about this one. Anyway, let's move on to my favorite stage from Sonic 3. Now, this one, for Sonic 3, I'm actually going to be counting both Sonic 3 and Knuckles, like, with the lock-on cartridge capability, I guess you could say. But, yeah, and this is also just my favorite stage in general from those two. My favorite Sonic 3 stage, and probably in all honesty, one of the best Sonic stages ever, in my opinion, has got to be Launch Base Zone, which is actually the final stage in the regular vanilla Sonic 3, if you are curious. Now, I know a lot of people really like Hydrocity Zone and Ice Cap Zone, and do not get me wrong, I love those stages a fuck ton too. But honestly, I just thought Launch Base was a really fun stage to go through. One of the things I liked about it was the overall kind of like it had that a really nice end stage feel. Like it's literally called Launch Base Zone, so gives that feeling that you finally got tried down Edmund to his base and you gotta stop him. But yeah, and another thing I liked about this stage was it was pretty difficult, not gonna lie, or pretty challenging, and there were a lot of, well, obviously tricks in the stage, but yeah, it's a fair challenge and not a bullshit challenge, which I appreciate. But yeah, I also like those kind of like teacup things in the. And I know that's kind of a weird thing to point out, but I thought it was kind of cool. But yeah, I did have a bit more to say about this than Hilltop Zone, but again, I just think Launch Base is a very fun zone, one of the best zones of the series. Anyway, let's move on to my favorite stage for Sonic Adventure. Alright, so my favorite stage from the first true 3D Sonic game is this one kind of surprised me as well, but it's probably Red Mountain, in all honesty. Now, Sonic Adventure, at least and I am counting this, specifically talking about the Sonic stages, because, if I'm being honest, I do like Adventure, but I honestly feel like it's probably my least favorite of the original three, well, the first three true 3D Sonic games. You'll know what the other two I'm talking about are in a minute, but honestly, I just think overall, I don't like Adventure 1 as much as some of the other 3D Sonic games, but I still like the Sonic and Tails stages a lot. Those are really fun. And my favorite one, and one that's still a great stage in general, is, well, Red Mountain, like I said before. Now, one of my favorite things about this stage is just overall the environment that you're going through. I think I do like the overall, like, kind of grand feeling to it, and the music in this part of the zone really helps give off that atmospheric vibe that it has. I think that's very cool, and again, I really like how, again, one thing I will appreciate about Sonic stages in NSA1 is how open they are, and this stage has a very open field and a very fun one to run through. But I think probably my favorite part of Red Mountain is when you get inside the volcano or the mountain itself. It has a very dark atmosphere to it, and the music is fucking kick-ass in this part. I really like the music, and one of the things that I appreciate about this part is, again, kind of like how I said about Springyard Zone, it has a very nice bits of speed and platforming and maintaining your speed while platforming as well. This is one of the stages that exemplifies that, in my opinion, and does it well as well. And yeah, I just thought Red Mountain was a very fun stage to go through, and probably, in all honesty, my favorite of the SA1 stages. I think my second favorite probably the honorable mention would have to go to Speed Highway, or something else I'm not 100% sure, but Red Mountain I kind of decide was my favorite. Anyway, now to move on to my favorite stage of my favorite Sonic game. Alright, so my favorite stage from my favorite Sonic game of all time, Sonic Adventure 2, is, now I know this one's going to be controversial, but it is Pyramid Cave. Now, Again, I am specifically talking about the Sonic Shadow stages of this one, or the speed stages, because I do think those are probably my favorite parts, but unlike SA1, I think the other ones have aged better, or I actually like them more so, but hold on 1 minute. Okay, sorry about that quick pause there. I had to blow my nose. Again, my allergies are acting up, but yeah, my favorite stage from SA2, well, I think I already said that part, but yeah, I think what I was saying was I overall just liked the other gameplay styles in SA2 more, but now on to now it's time to talk about Pyramid Cave and why it's my personal favorite of the SA2 stages. Now, my main reason for liking this stage so much is mainly because of I think this stage works very well with Sonic's speed, and by that I mean by it the way you use it is used very interestingly in this one, and I also do like the atmosphere of this level as well. I think Sonic running through a pyramid is kind of cool, admittedly, and while the speed stages aren't necessarily as open in terms of their field as the SA1 Sonic stages are, they're still very fun to go through and still, again, pretty fun to travel through as well. And I do kind of like, I know it sounds weird again, but I do kind of like picking up those keys and then running at a really fast speed up a loop or down a loop, whichever one you want to say. But yeah, I also like this. I know some people hate it, but I actually like this one segment where you gotta turn on the hourglass and you gotta speed down to the gate before it closes, where you have all those ghosts chasing you. I don't know. I think it's really fun just zooming the fuck down there. I think that's pretty cool, but yeah, and this is the stage that also gives you the bounce bracelet, was probably my favorite power up in the game, but yeah, Pyramid Cave is just one of my favorite, again, another one of my favorite Sonic stages, honestly. And I think the honorable mention for this game, actually two, White Jungle, that being Shadow Stage, and Final Rush. I think those are my second and third favorites, but I don't know. Pyramid Cave was just my overall favorite. Anyway, now on to my favorite stage from my second favorite Sonic game. Alright, so my favorite stage from Sonic Heroes has to be Ed Fleet. Now, this is the second to last stage in Sonic Heroes, and this is where you get obviously on Edmund's Fleet, and holy fuck do I love this stage. Yeah, I do like every other stage that up to this point, but so far this is probably my favorite stage in the Sonic series, or I don't know, there are probably like one or two I like more in general, but if I were to make a top 10 Sonic stages video in general, this would probably be somewhere in the top three, because it's just a great stage, in my opinion. Uh, well, first, it starts off with the cutscene of Edmund talking shit about how much of a genius he is and how his airships are the greatest, and then it zooms into the team that you're playing as. I thought that was a really cool way to start off the stage, and then again, it starts off with you running off the first ship, and yeah, it just gets a lot more fun from there, in my opinion. And this is also probably one of the best designed stages in Sonic history, in my opinion. Well, Sonic Heroes has some of the best level design in the series, in my opinion, but this is one of the stages that really exemplifies that. Because holy fuck, are there a lot of pathways you should do? Yeah. Again, it does have a very non-linear level design to it, and usually those tend to be some of my more favorite stages in the Sonic series, but yeah, there are a fuck ton of ways to complete this stage, and a fuck ton of pathways you could use, and yeah, I just thought that was a really cool aspect to it, and yeah, also the way you close that off, at least the Team Sonic's version of the stage, is very cool. You're going on like that on the fuck, I forget what those things are called, but you're just like spamming the rocket cell, and then you got to get to the back of the ship, and then it shows them coming off of the ship, and it shows that kind of still shot of the Team Sonic up in the air. I think that's a really cool way of doing it. Oh yeah, and I think the light dash was actually used to pretty good use in this stage too. I figured I'd say that. But yeah, as you can tell from my 2 minutes of talking about it, I really like Ed Fleet. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about it for now. Anyways, now on to my favorite stage from the first of what's considered the Dark Age games.